Hello Pisces, and welcome to your general reading for May. If you just found my channel, welcome and thank you for being here. All right, let's see what we've got. What do you have for Pisces, please, Spirit? Bottom of the deck, broken heart. Indecision, true love, teacher. I think this is a situation where a relationship perhaps has been on pause, and whether the indecision is inaction in some way or the inability to move it forward, I feel like you may be cutting your losses. If you are in a relationship deciding whether it stays together, I feel like there's a karmic undercurrent to it, and it's not a bad thing. It just maybe means that the path you've been on with this particular person has been full of lessons, maybe even for them, and they are lessons that they haven't learned. I feel like whatever decision needs to be made, the answer lies with you. I'm looking at this true love card, and she's seeing her reflection in the mirror, which is always an energy of self-love to me. Yeah, like I'm hearing you're not kidding yourself. There is something you are seeing clearly, and maybe even the situation has brought about some stagnancy because you've been waiting or wondering if this would come together. And maybe the conclusion you're drawing is no. Now, if you're an onlooker and someone is in a relationship and it's a very karmic relationship, you might have decided to sail on from this. No, well, pun intended. Yes, pun intended. And they're going through like the end of a karmic cycle. This card right here is getting my attention. Deception. Okay. The truth we tell others, the truth we tell ourselves. Something might become abundantly clear. Sorry, I hesitated. It might become abundantly clear, and I feel like there is some sort of plan of action that comes of this. Okay, let's look at you and your person. Let's start with your person. What is their energy? Ace of Cups. Renewal. I saw the Eight of Swords as well. They could be stuck in a situation. They could be overthinking something, Eight of Swords, in their head about what to do. Your person, Pisces. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the King of Wands, Judgment. Ooh. Okay, there's a big decision. They may feel that you, rightfully so, shut them out of their life. I feel like the reinvigoration I'm picking up on is represented here with the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. This is passion. This is courage to make big decisions. And maybe this indecision is your person sort of sitting on the fence, biding their time. Now, they might have been through something difficult, and maybe the divine is saying, you can't sit on the fence for long. Maybe, you have a valid reason for being very mindful about what you do next, because it could cause, loss. There could be something that appears, I'm even getting like selfish for me, but bad for the other person. And that could be if they're in a relationship. And Spirit might just be saying, take some time to think about this. Maybe someone takes a little break from life, right? The cruise ship. And the bye is the conclusion they draw about just a phase of life. If you sailed on from this relationship, you're giving your person a lot to think about. All right, let's take a look at your energy, Pisces. I saw the King of Swords. Now, you might be thinking, I have to do what's right for me. You know, this true love, self-love, it feels to me like it is indicative that you made a pretty big decision about this. But let's get your energy. Pisces energy in this situation. We have the Ace of Pentacles. A new beginning. Oh, I have a flipper. The World. You could be leaving. You could be moving, traveling, certainly. Maybe you closed out a cycle. Okay, we have the Six of Wands, the Three of Cups. There's my Traveler, Page of Wands. I want one more for you. I feel, yeah, I was picking up a happy energy. Queen of Swords, Justice at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. So the energy that I'm picking up on, sorry, I didn't finish my thought. You're happy. Like you are embracing something for yourself. And while perhaps the person you're connected to is stuck in indecision, I feel like you are very decidedly saying to yourself, I need to be clear about this. I need to be clear about my choices. And I see that there's something that lifts you out of the stagnancy, if that's what's been going on. And it could be that you mobilize and you're just like, okay, I got to dust myself off. This has grown stale. You may be enjoying your friendships. There might be something to celebrate. You might be celebrating a success, maybe new work, a new home. And I'm just getting the sun is just a brand new energy for you. And you feel renewed. So let's look at your shared energy. I do feel like you're in very different places, but let's look at how you both feel about this. Okay, one more shuffle and I'll show you all the cards. Oh my gosh, they're flying. Whoa, I flipped off the bottom of the deck and I'll take it. Seven of Swords. What I'm getting with this and what I'm hearing from Spirit is that you played by the rules you were given. You played by the rules you were given, which to me says, okay, well, I have to play nice or play along, but I don't like it. And I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because someone else is calling the shots. But I'm gonna wear a happy face and I'm gonna get through this. Now, if you feel like there's some sort of deception, Seven of Swords, sneakiness, take that. But that's what I heard. Playing by someone else's rules. Okay, let's take these in the orientation. They flew out. Here we go. You're not talking about how you really feel. You're shoving it down. The walls feel like they're closing in. You're about to maybe, crack. Like, I wish I could say what's on my mind. Maybe you decidedly hold back, right? Not wanting to say something because maybe it hasn't worked in the past. Like, what's the point? But I feel like there is this mounting pressure. I just saw 1111, and maybe you need to say something. Would your person be open to what you have to say? Are you open to what needs to be said? Receptivity is listening without, applying a filter. It is without judgment and blame. It is just openness. The Emperor, the Rebel, breaking chains. You both might have felt somewhat restricted by your situation, and the only way through it was to disengage. Now, your person is in the Five of Pentacles energy, and I'm not seeing necessarily that there is a no talking scenario, but it feels like you're moving forward in your life, right? The symbolism of the cruise ship and bye is, I won't wait. My happiness, my joy maybe exists elsewhere with other people. You certainly could be excited about the potential for a reunion, and judgment could be that. But I feel like in the meantime, there is the need to own it and take action for whatever it is, whether it's breaking away from something, understanding that resistance to something is futile maybe. I can't sit in indecision for long because life goes on. And, that could cause a sense of angst or urgency. Morality in reverse. Yikes. Wow. Well, whatever feels wrong, whether it's a behavior or a set of circumstances, perhaps this is at the cost of something, or, maybe another relationship. I feel like morality in reverse is a strong sense that you both know something just isn't right. For whatever reason, you need to fill in that blank for you. But when this card comes out, this is about being honorable in whatever respect. And you both might feel that you have done yourselves a disservice in whatever respect. Maturity in reverse. Yikes. Okay. I'm hearing childish antics. Now, who knows what that means, but I'm almost getting that your ability to relate to one another, even though maybe you're wanting to be open and receptive to what each other has to say, when you come together to talk, it feels like you are trying to get through to one another, but it's difficult to do that. Now, it could be a behavioral thing. Oddly enough, maturity in reverse, I am getting something about children, but I'll just, I'll leave that there. It could be that there is a family situation that's at stake. But I'm kind of getting that there's a behavior modification needed. Temperance. Oh, look at that. 10 of Wands. Okay. What is Spirit's advice for you regarding this situation? What should you do, Pisces? When you've done what you can and cannot progress, let go and Spirit will take the lead. Well, they definitely are. Oh, preparations. Have you checked the boxes that are your responsibility? And I'm hearing with this, there is something that in some respect you need to own so that something is not on repeat, or that you can move on from something without holding on to it, if that makes sense. Bottom of the deck, you are up against someone whose personal agenda is getting in the way of your own. And this, whether this is, rules that you're having to abide by, and it's bigger and broader, or maybe even familial, Hierophant. Something is at play and there's nothing you can do right now. And this is where I feel your refocus is on what makes you happy, what brings you joy. So what is the new beginning inference here? The Sun, the new beginning, the celebration for Pisces. Wow. Not for you. A change in the wind. Bye. And I feel you're okay with it. I feel you're okay with it. Whatever it is, And gosh, it could be anything. I feel like Spirit is saying, we're guiding you elsewhere. So let's get one card from this combo deck. What does Pisces need to know about where their ship is sailing? Believing in the impossible, manifesting, looking at things differently. You're just, look at that. We have the sea in the middle of the desert. You are wanting something to refresh your life. Discovering what lights you up, leaving behind what doesn't. You're making that choice for you. I feel like you're embracing it wholeheartedly. Bottom of the deck, longing. I feel like whatever this is, you know, if you've reached an impasse, you can choose to stay in this void or grieve this, or you can, you know, move on. Because Pisces, I'm seeing some really beautiful energy show up for you. And I think you feel that. You know that something exciting exists beyond the stuckness that you might feel. Okay, anything else? Let's get an answer from your angels. Okay, Spirit is talking to you. Watch for signs and numerical synchronicities. Whatever is presenting, if you're seeing that it is a specific answer to, you know, this decision you're trying to make, they're giving it to you. Now, this is interesting. At the bottom of the deck, consider the unconsidered option. You can trust this. Okay, and never underestimate the power of prayer under that. I'm hearing specifically, Pisces, there was something that you said to yourself, there is no way. Oh, yes, there is. And maybe your decision to say yes to change, perhaps, this new opportunity is going to lead you right where you need to be. Treasure Island. I love that. I'm looking at the sea and I'm thinking, I'm just seeing the person in the window. Bye. All right, Pisces. Ooh, food for thought. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next set of videos. Take care, Pisces.